mistakes. Live for the day when I make 'em proud. Always moving.